But basically, when I want to move it, just tie it to that. When you're done, set it down. Bok, bok. What's going on YouTube? Nick Novak back for another video here on the HSR. Day 33. Little updates weather-wise here. It's windy. Once again, the last 3 weeks, I feel like all it's done is blow wind. Blow wind. Maybe just blow. But it also has blown in about a total of 1.10 inches of rain over the last 2 nights. The first night was 70 hundredths and the night before was 30. Well, I guess last night was 30. And it was a godsend. Our pastures are starting to turn brown. I think we're late enough in this season where the grass ain't gonna take off real hard, but this rain is gonna green stuff up again. So I am really happy about that. We have a couple days about 90 degrees coming up the next 2 days, I think. So that should help kind of push some grass growth and kind of just push us into winter. So that's exciting. We're gonna go check the cows now. I got the 2 cans of diesel on the back. We need to go get some diesel from town real quick for the Jeep and the Bobcat. We're running a little low. And then I don't really know what we're gonna get into today. We can tear out some fence. We can move the chicken tractor. There's a couple different things that I have ideas about doing, so we're kind of just gonna play it by ear and see what happens. So let's go check the cows real quick, see if we have any new babies, and also check the spring herd. So down here in these low spots, we still have quite a bit of grass for these girls. Up towards the top, you know, it's a little rockier up on the top of the hills and stuff like that. It doesn't look as good as this, but there's still enough grass in here for probably another 3 weeks before we want to get them off so that we don't use it all to have some for next year. There's old Scarlet and her big old steer calf. He's about 75% the size of her. They look good. It's a really good pair. That bull, I was hoping she'd have a heifer, because I told myself every single heifer calf she has I'm keeping, just for the simple fact of she's the reason why I got into this business, and so kind of only feels right to do that. There's that Hereford steer and its mom laying down right there. Everybody's kind of just hanging out. Bunch of the 2 other cow calf pairs are just down there. I'm looking here at 79. Looks like her bag's starting to maybe drop a little bit. Fingers crossed she's pregnant. If you guys are new, all these cows over here, except 4 of them, were open last fall. We had an issue last year with the weather and a few other key things, but we can talk about that at a different time. Like, here's another example of the grass over here. It's just, there's a lot of grass down here in these draws, especially. All those spring cows look good. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at the fall cows now before we head to town. Looks like they're just right up over the hill. Trying to give you guys some context if you're new. Where these cows are at, we have our spring herd and our fall herd on the same pasture. This pasture split into 3 separate pastures. It's a half section, so it's like 320 acres, but I think it's actually 318 to be exact. This pasture is split between 3 different pastures. It's cross fence for rotational grazing, which we're gonna implement next year. Like I said, we were planning on doing it this year. All these cows that we had, except 4 of them, were all falls and weather, bull problems. We had quite a few opens, and so we kind of had to pivot into having kind of a spring and a fall herd. And there's some pros and cons about that, and maybe one day we'll talk about that. But anyways, on the east side of this pasture, we have our spring cows. There's about 100, maybe 96 acres roughly, maybe 105 to 96, somewhere in there. They've been on here all summer long. There's 21 head over here. A lot of draws through there, just really fast growing grass, and that's why we have kept them over here. But like I said, in a month we're gonna preg check, and we'll be taking them back to my place. We'll leave them at my place. They're gonna graze about a 50-acre pasture for about a month and a half-ish, and then we'll kick them to Milo stocks once we get a couple freezes. Then right when they're getting ready to start calving, we'll kick them back into that pasture. and then kind of just leave them there and kind of see. We have a couple options this year of what we want to do with our cows, and so we're kind of running a few ideas here and there. Anyways, we have that going on, and our fall cows are on the west side, which is about 110 acres. It's the biggest pasture. Not as many draws, but there's a lot of kind of hilly, and there's a bunch of trees in there, and so we have them in that pasture. Like I said, we want to rotationally graze eventually, and then that middle pasture is where we're gonna winter our fall cows, because there's so much coverage. There's a lot of thickets and big cedar trees and just really tall CRP that we grazed it last winter. That was the first time it's been grazed in probably 5 years. And so there's a lot of cover for those younger calves, and that's kind of why we decided to winter them there. But what I did, since we've gotten some rains, I turned the water off about 3 weeks ago because I wanted to cut down on our water costs. We've been spending about $190 a month on rural water from my place and over here. So when I shut off the west sides, since I have 3 different ponds, it's cut that $190 down to $109. And so we know we've saved $85 right there. That's how you make money in the cow-calf business. You have to find ways to not hurt or not do things shortcuts, but ways to make a little money extra here and there. And so that's why we turn the water off. Those ponds have just been refilled in the last, probably since the beginning of summer. They dried up last year. So right off the bat, I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary, nothing new by all means. I see 2 calves, but they both got ear tags in. I'm not seeing anybody too bagged up yet. You see, look, 97 here. We'll see if we can't get a good peek at her bag. She's bagging up. She's one of the ones that I'm watching, probably be one of the first ones to go. I don't know if she's gonna move. She's got a little bit of a bag there. I don't know if you guys can see. Let's see here. Number 62, she's also bagged up decently well. There's 130. Nice little bull calf. And 178, that's little Wiley. That's Willa's favorite little boy. Those 2 are gonna be big. They'll be by far the biggest 2 calves in the group. All right, y'all, I've seen what I needed to see. It looks good enough to me. The yearlings are just kind of hanging out over here on the far side of the pasture. One of them's laying down, which is good. It means their tummies are full, kind of just hanging out. I'm actually not gonna go to town yet. I have enough fuel in my Jeep to get me to where I need to go. I'm just around the house and stuff. But I wanted to tell you guys, we are going to be shipping our yearlings next week, those 20. My dad's going to be sending a semi, probably, I'm hoping like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, one of those days. Depending on what day he says, about 3 or 4 days before, I'm going to end up taking them up to where my bottle calves are at and putting them in a pen up there, because, not a pen up there, the pen up there. There's about 5 acres where my bottle calves are at, but the weeds are getting out of hand and it doesn't look very good. And I remember last year when we let the weeds get too tall before winter, you know, the weeds pull out. That's what makes a tumbleweed. They were in our fence lines and kind of loosened my fences and stuff like that, and I'm gonna try to prevent that, especially right there by my house. So my game plan for that is going to be, sorry, I'm driving right now, so just pulling onto a busy road. My game plan for that is put those cows in there and make them eat it. Those cows are only gaining maybe a pound a day right now. Just quality of the grass has gone down. Not as much forage that they like. It's more so that like CRP grass is kind of just growing outrageously right now. So we're gonna move them up towards the house, let them chew those weeds down for a couple days, and then we'll get them shipped. Hopefully Wednesday, Thursday. Milo is turning red slowly. The last thing I need to do on my chicken tractor is just get a little piece of wire and get this little spot right here wired up, and then we should be good to go on this chicken tractor. So that's my plan right now, is I want to try and cut a piece off of this right here and get it up. So I think this afternoon I'm gonna run to town with my trailer and I'll get fuel there and get a couple more cattle panels so I can get my drops built. That's what I've decided I'm gonna do. So basically what it's gonna be, it's probably gonna be about 3 foot out, and I'm gonna connect it. I'll probably use those clips to put on, clip it onto right here. So what it'll do is it'll fold down, so animals will try to dig, because they're not smart enough to dig way out here and dig under. They'll try to dig right next to it, but they won't be able to dig right next to it because of the cattle panel will be there. I'll do it all the way around this thing, and then at the end of the day, when I want to move it, you just simply go and pick it up and tie it to the side. I think it's going to work good. I've seen other people do it, so that's what I'm going to try. But first things first, I want to do is I want to actually move this over there kind of towards the chicken coop, and let's put some chickens in it. All right, y'all, we got the chicken tractor moved. I just ended up pushing it with my Bobcat, so we know it's not going to break with a little bit of pushing. I'm sure it didn't love it, but it's the only way I could do it now until I go back to town and get those new wheels. So what we're gonna do now is let's get some chickens in there. I think that's the only thing we can do now. I'm gonna go see if my wife wants to help, see if Willow wants to come out here and help real quick. If they do, perfect. If they don't, we'll just grab maybe as many as we can grab in there. That'll let me catch them and put them in there and just kind of see how they look. Well, Karis and the girls are sleeping, so I'm by myself. I'm not gonna twist these chickens' hands to let them out here. Old Yellow feet's over there in the trees. She climbs out every time. She'll be one for dang sure that I try to put in here. Let's just see how many we can catch. Congrats, honey. You're the very first one. Old Yeller here. Every time I open this door, she tries to jump in, so we'll see if we can't catch her. Well, we're up to 5. Bok, bok. All right, y'all, we have 10 of them in here. And really, I think I'm gonna have enough space for 20. And like I said, we can move them twice a day if we have to. Just kind of my plan is to have them right here. Once I get those tires, I'm gonna move them actually probably up there in those weeds, those tall weeds. That's after I get all my things built. I wanted to put them right here just so that I have a flat piece of ground to build those cattle panel safeties for my chickens, I guess. So I'm actually gonna head to town real quick to get a tarp, put over the top of that, and get 2 more cattle panels. I think 2 more will do it justice. I might actually even get hog panels and then just cut them right down the middle, and that should get me enough. They're 8 feet on each side, so one 16-foot piece should get me there, and then get another one, cut it in half, and have basically 8 feet left from the front and the back. Well, no chickens are out yet, so got the tarp, got a few other things. The first thing I want to do is get this tarp over the top. All right, tarp's not perfect, but it's kind of windy today, and for a one-man show, call that good. It was also a cheap tarp, so I'm fine with it. As you guys can already see, the chickens have already made you can already tell they've been here in this spot. So I want to try and get them over there sooner than later, just to kind of get them out of the place where we're going to be stepping in their poop and stuff. But first I need to get these cattle panels off and tied on here. So as you can see, this is kind of going to be the design. We'll see how it works. We're going to put this close side on this side and that side of that panel, the smaller end I mean, and for the back and stuff we'll use the big ones. If we have problems we can go ahead and put chicken wire over it, but right now we're going to leave it how it is. Alright y'all, I just got my paneling, so now you guys have an idea of what I'm talking about. So this is my idea that I think is going to work for animals getting in. They're going to try to dig as close as they can to the coop, but they can't dig through this. Yes, some might be able to get through that, but we just have to play it by ear. If we have to put chicken wire, we will. But basically, when I want to move it, just tie it to that. When you're done, set it down. So now I need to do it on the other side and the front and the back. All right, y'all, my GoPro is about to die. I'm gonna put some hinges on the front and the back of that gate. But really, after that, my job's done. So I'm gonna move this coop when the girls wake up. But like I said, my GoPro's almost dead, so I'm gonna end it here. I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see them out there in the weeds tomorrow. Peace.